Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula starts to revive itself. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Dracula has revived many times. However, his sinister actions have been consistently thwarted by the Belmont family. It's been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now, the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only his whip and courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Castlevania 4. I'm going to go to the options screen because I don't want to get sent back to the beginning, because it likes to do that when you're like on the title screen for like a couple seconds. Anyways, Castlevania 4 is a game that I thought about playing over the last, I say, month or so. I originally played it actually on the Super NES Classic that came out a couple years ago. So it's been a while since I played it, but it was the first Castlevania game that I ever played. And it was always an interesting series to me, but I never actually was able to like get my hands on it and play it because there weren't games that were interesting to me at the time. And I just kind of didn't really know that they existed, really. Like, they were there, but I didn't know. So Super Castlevania 4 is actually sort of a remake of the original Castlevania for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Of course, it's much different. Obviously remade on the Super Nintendo. It's got a brand new soundtrack, levels, enemies. It's got a whole new coat of paint. So, of course, it does have stuff from the original, but it's not like it's a whole, like, full remake. It's like a reimagining is what I think is a better word for it. So, yeah. Not much else to say besides I'm really excited to try this out. Fair warning, I'm not particularly good at Super Castlevania 4. So it'll be fun watching me struggle through levels that I struggled through. Because I'll let you know that some of them were not particularly very fun to get through. But, I mean, it makes the journey all the better. So, anyways, without any further ado, I say that we get started. This is like the third take that I've taken of this video, so I'm feeling pretty good about it, so let's get to it. Getting on this screen, you can enter your name. I'm just going to put Drock, because why not? There's the O-C-K. There we go. So, going over our stats here at the beginning. By the way, I plan to be able to at least have the music at the start of the level kind of go up before I start talking about anything. The reason why I'm paused right now, by the way, you can pause with the start button, is because of the timer. During my couple original takes, I was speeding through the level and kind of everything was getting mashed together because of me trying to discuss things while also on a timer doesn't make a very good video because I can't talk about stuff if I don't have enough time, so yeah. Anyways, so going over our stats here on this lovely screen. So the score, I'm not sure if it has any meaning. I think it might have something to do with getting extra lives, but I actually have no idea. So I'll do some research into that. I'll probably put it on screen and show you what it actually does. If it does anything, I'm not sure. Obviously, our player health is right underneath that. That's Simon's health. If it goes all the way down, he will die, and that's not good. Enemy health, similar to games of this genre, or I guess this time, sometimes the boss health bar will be on screen at all times, even if there's no boss, so that it's much easier to just slap on the screen, since they didn't really have the ability to do that. This big box in the middle is to show sub-weapons, which we haven't been introduced in, but we will be very shortly, since there's one right across the room. The block shows the current level that we're in, and the current area we're in. So we're in block 1-1, and then later, 1-2, 1, whatever. The hearts are how many times you can use a sub-weapon. Most sub-weapons can be used with 1 heart. Some, or well, actually 1 requires 5, but we'll go over that when we get the sub-weapons. The P is how many lives you have. In traditional Nintendo games having lives fashion, or I guess, does every game do it where if you have 0 lives, technically you still have a life? I don't know. But yes, so technically you have 5 lives starting out. 4 shown, and then the 1, 0, 0. And of course the timer, which is not moving right now, but counts down every second. So we have 400 and how many seconds? I don't know exactly how many seconds is in level 1, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, so let's actually get started here. By the way, the song at the beginning area here, I believe is called The Courtyard. I'd like to try and go over all of the music, but it's going to be difficult to be able to incorporate while I'm pausing because it'll stop the music. So I'll try and figure out some way to accommodate this, but I'm sorry if it keeps cutting out, but I'll try my best to kind of go over things as they come. Because some levels have lots of stuff introduced, some don't. Mostly just enemies, but I don't really have to pause to go over them per se. But anyways, let's get started here. So, whipping candles allows you to get items. That item that I just got there is a Morning Star, which is a whip upgrade. Now you see I have a Morning Star as a whip, which increases its damage. I got my first sub-weapon, which is a knife. The knife travels in a straight line. These hearts are 1s, and these hearts are 5s. Jumping over this little bridge here. Careful, those blocks crumble, and you want to go over here. This song, aptly named Theme of Simon Belmont, is the definitive song of Castlevania 4, if I do say so myself. Also, you can moonwalk up these stairs. These little bags of money that I've been picking up, these just give you points. They're nothing too crazy. As you saw there, we just had a bat show up. I didn't know there was a rosary in there. That was a rosary. It kills everything on the screen. I didn't know there was that one there. That was a piece of meat that I just picked up. But yeah, so these enemies here, these are just basic skeletons. They don't do anything else. They just kind of move around. And obviously those bats that we saw just kind of fly around the screen. Nothing too exciting, but annoying all the way. As we're moving in here, this is a bone pillar. Nothing too exciting. And we get ourselves our second sub-weapon. The cross, which is the most powerful one. And then we'll immediately replace it with the axe, because why not? That wall that I just broke allowed us to get a big piece of meat, which was a full 10 heal, whereas a small piece of meat, which we picked up a little bit earlier, was, I believe, 5. This is an invisibility potion. Invisibility, not invincibility. Yes, I know. You can also attack enemies through platforms. Take advantage of that when you can. I didn't go over the axe because we had it for so little. The axe attacks in an arc. I kind of showed it there. Keep going up. I don't think I've missed anything. I probably have, but I don't remember. Just keep moving. As you see, yeah, some of these skeletons don't throw bones, while some of them do. This is a, I don't know, I call them whip rings. They're not, I don't really know what they're actually called, but they do exactly what I'm saying. That little guy back there that I smacked, that was a clubbing knight. You can kind of like bait him out of his little spot there, and then he'll kind of attack, and then you can smack him. You can also sometimes hit him just by hitting his hands. It'll sometimes work. Move up here. As you see, the knife isn't as strong as the whip. Most sub-weapons are either less strong or as strong as the whip. Here's the second to last sub-weapon, the holy water, which is more like a Molotov. You throw it and it lights stuff on fire. Not much else to it. It's not particularly very useful since you can usually whip stuff. These viper swarms, which can drop down from the ceiling, are one such enemy that you can deal with. These horse heads, namely called Mr. Head, H-E-D Head, aren't too bad. Yeah, there's not too much to say about them. Over here, you can break this wall. Always try and see if you have extra time to be able to whip walls, to be able to see if you can get free stuff. I've tried to find as many hidden walls as I could. I don't think I found all of them, but I found a fair amount of them. This is the last sub-weapon, the Watch. You're able to freeze time. This stops all enemies, including these Medusa heads, which spawn in this area. Not too bad. These platforms, the ones like this, don't jump on these because you will fall through them and die. These are ghosts. Nothing much to say about them, that's just what they are. Oh, I wanted to try and show it, but I almost fell and died. Continuing on. And kill that guy. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, but you can whip in 8 directions. There you go. Also, if you hold out the whip, you can kind of move it around in like a flail. I just figured I'd show you that. Alright. Rodane is our first actual boss. Not particularly difficult. You take down the horse, which spits fire at you. Why is he not jumping? There we go. Oh, he spawned on top of me, and he did. I'm going to pause real quick. So, Rodane, not very difficult in any way, shape, or form. Basically, his horse will spit fireballs at you, which I'm not sure if you can block them. Maybe I just suck at blocking them. And then, when he dismounts, he will grab his sword, and then he's usually doing that jump move a lot more. For some reason, he just wasn't doing it there, which is kind of weird. And then he'll, like, poke at you while he walks around. Not particularly hard, but it was just weird that he didn't do what he normally does. Grab this thing, which I don't know the name of. And we'll move on.